So if you want to find out what type of containers you need for your bubble show, I'm just about to buy some. Yay! Follow me. So here we are at a place called Bunnings, which is sort of like a B&Q in the UK, but they're very famous for this, the sausage sizzle. In Bunnings, you can get a sausage for like $2, and everyone comes here on a Saturday and has a look and sees, like, gets a sausage for their kids, and then goes around, wandering around. It's sort of like a place to go. Bunnings actually has a big community, and we get booked a lot. Magic shows, face painters, a lot for this company. It's a hardware store, a giant hardware store. What's that got to do with kids? They get kids because kids have daddies, and daddies come along, and everyone feels happy when they come to Bunnings. I brought these containers along with me because one thing which kids do is when you've got these containers and they're full of bubble liquid, when they've got them on the floor, the kids just trip them up. So I'm thinking of putting like a pot holder and then put them on there. You know, like this pot holder is made of wire. I'm going to have a look and see if I can fit one of these into a pot holder so it's above the ground. I'm going to get a pot holder so especially the toddlers can't trip up on these, and then all the bubble juice goes everywhere. So Bunnings has its own app, and it's really good because it will tell you in your store where exactly is everything to the aisle. So you can go on there, find it out, then I don't have to run around the store crazily just trying to buy stuff because I know where it is. Right, I am with the water containers. Now, when you're looking at water containers or any container in general for this sort of thing, you've got to think, how heavy is it going to be to fill this up with complete water and then find out that you can't flip and lift the thing. Also, when you're in the car as well, you need everything to pack properly. So what I'd recommend is not these square things, because the square ones like this, they take up wide space, but they don't take up length in your car either. So I would always go for long and thin like this. And also these are great for smaller parties too. We've got quite a few of these. So instead, I'm going to get these 20-litre jerry cans. So when you've got a 20-litre jerry can, just put on the side somewhere, nice and neat, not scruffy, how many kids that would be, roughly. So 10 litres is about 30 children, 15 litres is 45 children's worth of bubble liquid for an hour. So 20 litres, I can't work it out. I think it's like 10 by 3, isn't 60 children? I don't know. When you've got these little containers here, also remember that you might have 2 shows during the day, or 3 shows or 4 shows. So at the moment, we might have 3 sets of shows. We've got one in the morning, and then which is like 40 kids, and then we've got some which is like 75 children in the afternoon, which we'll probably have to split to 2 shows. So I need 3 sets of, let me work that out. Actually can't work it out, so what I'll do is I'll probably go for the 15 litres worth 45, because you also need spillage as well, because you can imagine you've got some rat bag children running around, or some like baby children, and they've just spilt all your stuff. You can't go to the client and say, sorry, I haven't got any more bubble juice left.
If this helped, click like and subscribe down below, and I will give you some more of SuperSteph's ideas on how to run a small business. And if you want to become a kids entertainer, I've also got a really good guide on how to be the best entertainer and make lots of money with it down here. Just comment below, give me the guide, and I'll send it to you.
All these things, like you can buy your own caps, don't bother, just pour it out the top. That's why you don't want to have a big heavy thing either. So 20 litres, I think I'll be able to do that with my muscles. Look how pretty these are. So these would be really good if you were just doing sort of like bubbles for yourself. But I would recommend not getting white. White sucks because white sometimes gets dirty and then you can't clean it off. Sometimes it just looks milky dirty. Ew. So one of these things, I'm going to show you what you need to do with a little colourful plant pot like this to make it bubble proof. So here you can see that they've got holes in them. All you've got to do is just get a glue gun, fill up those holes, and that's what I've done with my old one, and it seemed to work. This is my idea up here. I want to find something like this where I can put it off the ground, but that looks too small, so I might have to get something online. I normally go to AliExpress or I go to Temu, but I prefer AliExpress because you don't have to get like $50 worth of stuff just to get free postage. Okay, so this is my idea here, to put it in there like that, but obviously squish it down. That's not what you want. I think it's not even going to be really high up either, so that's not going to work. Look at that. That's rubbish. If there is anybody out there that can tell me a better way to get them off the ground so that they don't get stepped on, please let me know in the comments, because I don't know what to do. There's like nothing which works. Now I'm going to get sand from out here. Now the reason why I'm getting sand is I've got a big base, big sort of plastic weighted thing that has to go on the feather banners, but all I've got at the moment is water in there. And do you know what happens with water? It will burst when you are traveling in your car. Sooner or later that plastic's going to break down and you're going to have a big pile of water. So instead I'm going to get sand and fill it up with sand instead. Now it's time for funnels. This is a great funnel because it hasn't got this massive long sort of funnel bit, and also you need to make sure when you do the funnel that it fits into your hole. There we go. What about that? Yay! Now there's also another one which I've also got in at home, which is this one here. This one also has a strainer in it, and I lost my strainer, so that one also fits really well. I think I'm going to go for this one because you really would need a strainer in there because you get mozzies and random stuff, and dump this. While I'm here, I'm going to show you some do's and don'ts on containers because not all containers are made equal, and this is the reason why. So when you've got a type of container, it's best to stick with the same type because they stack properly. If you end up buying here from Bunnings and you buy these containers, they're not going to stack into your shelving at home. So I'd always recommend keeping with the same brand.
And if you want a puppet to start with, then go to Puppets, spelled Pubbets. They're the ones that sponsored these videos, and go to there. They're good enough to go out as a professional kids entertainer when you're starting off. And they are such good quality and the most affordable puppets.
Now, a couple of other things about these containers as well is when you get a container, try and make sure that it's not too massive. It's easier to have shallow and long because then you can put it into your car. When you get something like this, I love this container. I love containers so much. You know, some people buy jewelry. I bought 5 containers. So if you have a look at this, it's too flipping big. Look how big this thing is. So you try and put that in your car and then put other things around it. It's just going to be clunky. So it's better to have something like this and then tear it up instead. Containers also sometimes look cheap, so try to get something which is black where it looks more professional than this sort of colour. But if no one's seeing it, then this colour's fine, and usually it's cheaper. Now again, when I was saying about having the same container, the reason why is as well because sometimes these things will come off, and when they come off, just keep a couple of them because you're bound to have some containers that suddenly these fall off and you can't find them. So you can go, oh, I've got some of those, and they can get the same make, and so it's always swapping over like they're modular. I've got to get some of these containers for my bubble show. Now I don't want it too deep because I really just want them to fit the bubble ones into there so that I can just literally get a hose and rinse it all out, just like a strainer really. Favorite is this crystal type because it's beautiful and clear. I have these for things which the parents are going to see. They're also very brittle, so you don't want to have your whole sort of storage area with these because they're expensive. They're more expensive than the plasticky, these types of containers, and they're also brittle, so they will break quicker than the other ones. So when you've got storage and you've got shelving just like this, then you want to be able to see through it because sometimes, you know as well as I do, you'll think that you're going to make sure that all your storage is labelled beautifully and you've got it all sort of colour coded, but that's not what happens. What happens is you get a whole lot of random stuff, you chuck it in. What happens if it's like this? You'll just end up buying more of the random stuff and then in 3 years' time opening this up and going, oh, I've just wasted my money. Oh, that's what happens. So get clear storage definitely for your house or your big shed area. Some of these actually have big pulleys. Don't be fooled. Did you see that? That's what happens. These are rubbish. And also they've got teeny tiny little plastic wheels that fall off. So I don't recommend getting any of these. If you want to pull it along, get one of those big foldable trolleys, that beach trolleys, and then put the normal container in there. It's going to be so much easier. Want a pull along container, then you need to have wheels about this big, otherwise they're not going to work. If you get these teeny tiny wheels, which they almost all have, I'm going to find some for you. Look at how rubbish that is. Teeny tiny ones inside there. It's a giant flipping container. You think that's going to last?
If you want to find out what is in my secret bubble mix, then comment below, send me the secret recipe, and I'll send you the link.
So that's the end of getting all of my containers for my bubble workshop. Yay! So hopefully that helped. And also, if you want to see what an easy bubble workshop actually looks like to run, then have a look over here and see how I set up my easy bubble workshop so that you can do it too. Thank you. Bye.